Okay, can we start with questions, please?
Roberto, have you paid the price for just some shocking defending at times there?
Well, yeah, I thought it was a combination. A couple of times we made a couple of defensive mistakes, but in other moments it was just incredible finishing. I think sometimes you have to highlight the quality of the finishing of the opposition. I think some of the goals, it'll be very, very difficult to see them again in the same game. I think the first strike is a world-class strike, but then Antunes, a left back from that distance. And I think that was a little bit the shame in our performance, because we created enough chances and then the ball hit the woodwork and it goes out rather than hitting the back of the net. And I do feel that the difference in those actions had a big significance in how we felt during the game. I don't think it was a case of being in a situation that we couldn't impose ourselves. I do feel that at the beginning, once we scored the away goal, I felt that we were going to be a little bit stronger and a little bit tighter in the performance. But it looked that sort of game that Dynamo, everything they tried with a lot of confidence, with a lot of belief, ended up in the back of the net, and then it became very difficult. I think we never gave up. We always looked like a threat, always looked like that we could score a goal. And as I say, I do feel that the difference mainly, I know that you can go down to try to avoid their goals, but I think the type of game that it was real opportunities for both teams, and always hit the crossbar or hit the woodwork and went out. And in our case, a couple of strikes went into the top corner and made it very, very difficult to allow ourselves to be in the scoreline.
Відповідь журналіста була шокуюча, просто гра у вашому виконанні. Поясніть чому. Сьогодні у нас було дуже багато помилок у захисті. Нам не виходило завершити наші атаки, а те, як забивали футболісти київського Динамо, це просто топ-рівень. Кваліфікація цих ударів, кваліфікація цих голів, вона просто неймовірна. Можна сказати, світового класу. Те, як забив Антунеш, з якої дистанції, таке повторити дуже рідко можна і побачити взагалі дуже рідко. Звичайно, нам трішки соромно за гру нашої команди. Ми працювали зовсім по-іншому, готувалися до цієї гри, зовсім іншу гру самоочікували. У нас не працювали наші комбінації, ми не грали в свою гру, яку ми планували грати. Перед грою ми багато що обговорювали з командою, але не все ми зуміли зробити на футбольному полі. Нам потрібно було зіграти краще. Звичайно, дуже важко відійти було команді після таких голів, які ми пропустили, неймовірних голів. Ми шукали наші можливості біля чужих воріт, ми шукали можливість забити гол. Кілька разів ми влучили у поперечну штангу. І ми, і Динамо шукали можливості забити голи, але більше пощастило Динамо.
Roberto, it was quite a weak defensive performance from quite experienced players. Do you regret some of your selections tonight, such as perhaps leaving out John Stones and playing Alcaraz instead?
No, really, no. Obviously, it's only natural and normal from the outside to try to, at the end of that scoreline, to try to look back. The back four or the back five, they've been very strong in the last two games. Remember that we only conceded one goal from a corner against Dynamo, and the same back five kept a clean sheet against Newcastle. And I felt that the communication, the experience was going to be important today, and it was just a case that we didn't adapt too well to the pitch. I think both teams, we used in an attacking way the pitch in a good manner, but I think is a case of the whole team not defending well enough. Remember, the second goal comes, we're in our attacking corner, and he ends up in the back of the net when Phil Jagielka pick up a knock, and everything is a bit of a knock-on effect. Sometimes there are situations that you cannot really control during the game. So I don't think it's a case of the personnel. I think it was a case of, as a team, with the occasion, I think Dynamo built a lot of momentum with their home crowd, and they were very, very confident, and everything that they hit end up in the back of the net rather than us just being to blame and at the end of not being able to defend a little bit better.
Питання було про склад на сьогоднішній матч. Чи, можливо, десь трішки ви помилилися із стартовим складом на гру, не випустили Стоунса, випустили Алькараса. Ну, важко зараз повернутися назад і обговорювати стартовий склад. Алькарас, він грав, і наш захист грав добре останні дві гри проти Ньюкасла. Ми зіграли на 0 і якби зв'язки в захисті виглядала досить непогано. Ми намагалися атакувати і не завжди нам було легко захищатись, тому що було досить багато зон, команди атакували, але я не звинувачував би когось конкретно, не було індивідуальних помилок, вся команда зіграла не дуже добре. А в Динамо було дуже багато сьогодні моментів і десь я відчуваю вину, звичайно, за такий результат, але хочу ще раз сказати, що публіка тут на стадіоні, вона, звичайно, вела команду Динамо вперед, прекрасно просто підтримували і ось такий у нас результат.
If we told you last night that you were going to bring your first leg lead here and you're going to score 2 goals, you would surely have expected that was going to be enough to get the job done.
I think part of the experience of being in this competition is to learn how to play in a second leg of a knockout phase, and I think that was evident today. I think the experience that we got out of it is, I do feel that during the game we were affected with what was happening in the scoreline. Obviously it's not as clear-cut as going into a game and expecting to score 2 goals away from home and conceding the amount of goals that we conceded. I think the game was very much of 2 teams that they would try to score goals. That was clear. I think at the end it's ended up with 2 teams creating a lot of chances, and the difference, as I say, is it was just taking those chances or not. And at times, yes, it's something that you can do and defend better. I agree with that. Others, it's just being able to put that ball in the top corner, and sometimes there's not much that you can do with that. I did feel that Ross Barkley was a real threat, and in certain situations it got it looked like going back to his level and hitting the post twice. That ball could easily go in. Gusiev goal, the 3rd goal, hits the post and it goes in. And I think sometimes the margins are so small, and I'm looking at the effort, the way we reacted. We never gave up. We tried everything to try to stay in the tie, and overall you must admit that the game, the way it unfolded, it was plenty of chances for 2 teams. That the difference was the team that it took most of those. I do feel that the momentum that they created with the crowd and playing at home maybe has helped them a little bit, but obviously the experience that we're taking out of it is very important.
Питання. Вчора ви сказали, що було б добре забити 2 голи на виїзді. Сьогодні ви забили, але чому ось такий результат, навіть попри 2 м'ячі? В таких поєдинках, звичайно, дуже важливо, як ти граєш в других матчах, і не завжди нам виходили якраз матчі відповіді. Ми хотіли зіграти на виїзді агресивно, було багато можливостей у нас, але були проблеми з реалізацією. В Барклі також були можливості, і він не забив, можна було в деяких моментах зіграти краще. Ми втрачали, звичайно, контроль, втрачали увагу над деякими зонами. Гусєв тому мав також зону по своєму фланзі, часто атакував з неї. Ми хотіли залишитись в грі, ми хотіли створювати моменти, але реалізація була не найкращим чином. Ще раз хочу сказати, що публіка вдома допомогла, звичайно, Динамо здобути такий результат.
Roberto, there was a lot of communication between you and your players from the touchline, especially with Romelu Lukaku. Well, did it have the effect you were looking for? And in the case of Lukaku especially, did it really help?
In terms of the communication with the players?
Yeah.
In what way? I don't get the question, sorry.
In motivational one, and in the maybe tactical. Well, did the players really got into your ideas, and did Romelu especially change his way of playing maybe after the communication with you?
Може українською я перекладу. А як українською звучить питання?
Було дуже багато розмов саме з Лукако під час гри, і чи вплинули ці розмови саме в тому ключі, на який сподівався Роберто?
Як він зіграв?
Так.
Да?
No. Romelu had a normal performance. We communicate a lot during games. It happens with a lot of players. Romelu especially. We got a very strong relationship, and sometimes we got different ways of approaching his starting position or the pressing high up the pitch. That's just a normal way of us communicating, and I felt that he looked really sharp and scored another goal, and his performance was very strong again.
Ні, сьогодні він нормально грав. Ромело, він дуже сильний футболіст, і сьогодні він грав так, як і в Прем'єр-лізі. Він завжди виходить на стартовому складі, дуже важливий гравець, і сьогодні він показав, що він дуже сильний футболіст.
Сеньор Роберто, скажите, пожалуйста, с какой командой английской по стилю вы сможете сравнить «Динамо»? И если бы киевский клуб играл в английской премьер-лиге, какое бы место вы могли бы этой команде обещать, скажем так?
If Diнамо can play in English Premier League, in what style looks like the Diнамо playing of the team in English, and what place in the championship they can have?
Well, it's always a very difficult question when you're trying to look into different leagues. I think Dinámo, they got a high technical standard. Obviously, they play a 4-3-3 system that they encourage the 1v1 situations. I think we've seen today players with a lot of quality, especially Yarmolenko. I think is a player that he could find a way to have a big goal-scoring threat in the Premier League. But it's very, very different. The teams in the Premier League and Dynamo throughout as a team is an impossible question to answer. But clearly they are very strong individuals at Dynamo, and they all could do a very good job depending on what they have to do. But it's that one-to-one situation is something that in the Premier League can be very effective. And Yarmolenko and probably Jermaine Lens, they are players that they can adapt easily to do that.
Завжди дуже важко відповідати на подібні запитання. Це зовсім різні ліги, і, звичайно, таки в «Динамо» є дуже багато футболістів, які сильні індивідуально. Вони грають за схемою 4-3-3. В них є різні можливості виставляти різний склад. Звичайно, я б виділив Ярмоленка, який може обіграти один в один. Цей футболіст би міг би грати в топ-клубах Англії, але, безумовно, важко сказати, як ось ці футболісти змогли б грати в прем'єр-лізі. Вони всі сильні індивідуально і можуть обігрувати один в один, але я от виділив би Ярмоленко, Ленса, вони, звичайно, виділяються.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.